The land is green, is green, is green. So, hello everybody again. Today, the land is green, and we're talking about factors to consider when you're buying land. Land. Yes. Land is one of the best investments that you can ever have. So today we're talking about what do you consider, especially when you want to buy land in Lagos. And today we're going to be looking at all those things. What are the things that you're going to think about? Okay, Labake, I am ready. I want to buy land. And I'm going to be asking you these questions. And these are the things that you need to consider when buying land in Lagos. Number one, the most important thing that I want you to know is that you can never go wrong with buying land in Lagos. You can't. Land in Lagos is like a stream or for the river. It always flows one way, and that is upwards. So, no matter where you buy land in Lagos, it is always a good investment. Bear that in mind. Irrespective of where you buy the land, it's always going to be a beautiful investment decision. So, do you want to buy the land for investment purposes, or do you want to buy it to build a house? That is the first question that you want to ask yourself. Maybe you already have everything. You have your house, you bought where you're living. The only thing you now want to think about, for example, is okay, where is the money going? And then you want to go with the money, and then you go and buy land there. I'll tell you a story of one friend of mine who years back, about 10 years ago, decided that he was going to buy land in Ikati-Elegushi. He was very comfortable with where he was living. He was living then. He was living in GRA Ikeja. And then he decided that, okay, since everybody is going to Lekki, let me look for land. And then he decided that he's going to buy land for investment purposes only. And so he came down towards the Elegushi beach, and then he bought about a hectare of land at 5 million naira per plot. So 10 years ago, he spent about 50 to 60 million to buy some hectares of land. 10 years ago, around Ikati-Elegushi. And then he decided then that this is just for investment purposes only, and I'm just going to be building houses there to let out to people, because obviously there's going to be that time when there's going to need houses. And today that mini lovely estate has 30 houses right now, 4 bedroom. He has carved out a beautiful niche for himself around Lekki. Each of the 4 bedrooms, he lets it out at 4 million per annum. Do the maths for 40 houses. So every year, my guy is clocking 160 million in rent only. He's not selling. This was for land that he bought 10 years ago. So you could decide that, okay, I just want investment purposes. That is one of the things that you want to consider. If you want to go for investment purposes, go for cheap land. Go to the far places. There was a time that Ikati-Elegushi was far. There was a time that Shangotedo was far. There was a time that Aja was far. And there was a time Ibrahim Adesanya was far. Those places are not far anymore. And those were times that the land there was selling very cheap. I was at Bogije yesterday on inspection. You can see that in my DM. And there was this large expanse of land on the main road of Bogije, just as we were about to turn. And the owner was telling me that she bought that land about 5 years ago for 500,000 naira per plot in Bogije. Nobody wanted to go there then, but she just bought it. She fenced it. She has about 10 plots there. They are begging her now to sell at 15 million per plot, and she's saying no. So that is investment. You bought something for 500,000 per plot 5-10 years ago, and people are begging you to sell at 15 million. That is land for investment. So if you want to buy land for investment purposes, please look at places that are far and affordable. Ibejuleki is affordable right now. Good land starts from about 2.5 million. We have Epe. Land at Epe is affordable. Starts at about 900,000, and you can even be paying 200,000 every month, and then till you pay it off, and that is it. You own land somewhere. You are not sure. You are thinking, oh my God, Epe is going to be far. But believe you me, there was a time that the distance between here and Epe 5 years ago looks like the distance between here and Abraham Adesanya. Are we not there now? We are. That is one of the things to consider when you're buying land for investment. Go to where the money is. There is the refinery being built at Ibejuleki now. There is the seaport there. That means that very, very soon there's going to be a property deficit. There's going to be people looking for houses to rent. So go there, buy land and wait. That is definitely going to appreciate. Also, you could decide that you want to buy land to build your own personal house. Now, that is a different ball game. What do you do in that situation? You look for a well-developed area. You go around and drive around and have a feel of the area that you want to buy the land. Do I see myself living in this area for the next 5, 6, 7 years? Are my children going to be safe here? What happens on the day when I'm alone? Will I be able to live here alone? So you look for good locations that people are already living in. If you are very bold, go and buy the land somewhere that is very, very far and live alone. I mean, if you can be bold and start carving out that niche for yourself in that area. But when you are buying land to build your own house, go to somewhere that is at least a bit familiar to you and to your wife and to your children, very near to all amenities, and start building. The most important thing about land is when you buy the land, as soon as you buy the land, that is part number 1 of the job finished. The next thing is get your design done and start. So the most important journey in building your own house is that journey to start. The third one thing that you have to consider is, are you buying a large expanse of land to build your own estate? Like the first example that I gave you. A lot of young people are doing that now. They are coming together and doing what we call land banking, and are going into areas and are buying about 50 to 100 plots and banding themselves together as premium investors and sharing profits. So you could buy land for that and build your own ivory land estate and start selling the houses. That is another option for you. So those are the factors that you are going to consider. Next, we are going to look at the documentation that you will look at when you want to buy land in Lagos. So